Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Just a quick one for you all today, which is a team reveal ahead of the Game Week 2 deadline tomorrow morning at time of recording, 11 a.m. deadline on Saturday in the UK. So yeah, I'll just briefly go through my team and why I'm lining up, as well as transfers that I have made this week, which there is one. So this week I will continue with McCarthy in goal. My sort of set and forget keeper will be there. I wasn't particularly impressed with them last week defensively, but he's going to be there and hopefully he can get a few save points against Tottenham this weekend. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, he can return against anyone, so he will start in defence against Chelsea. Stevens in the midfield, in the middle of my defence, sorry, with Aston Villa away. Sheffield United were a bit mixed defensively against Wolves, but once they found their rhythm and their shape, they were much better. So I'm hoping for a clean sheet from him this weekend, as well as Justin of Leicester at home to Burnley this weekend in my starting three at the back. I like Justin. He should still be playing at that left back. He got forward, he got into good positions, and I hope that maybe there can be a clean sheet as well for him at home to Burnley. So the defenders that I've got on my bench is Taylor. So Taylor has now has a fixture after having a blank game week. He is on my bench this week. They've just got some injuries, especially in the centre of defence. So I plan on benching him this week. Although his upcoming fixtures, especially against Newcastle and West Brom, I plan on starting him in those game weeks. Now, my other defender you may know on my bench is Roman Saiz. Now, he's actually a transfer in this week. So I've made one transfer this week. I had Vinagre in my team who isn't going to be playing. So I've transferred him out and brought in Saiz. Now, he's not going to play this weekend for me. I thought his price would go up and Vinagre would go down this week. So that's why I made the transfer early. But it hasn't happened, but it's still a transfer that I wanted to make. Now, the reason I made this is because we've got good fixtures for Wolves after this Man City game. So they've got West Ham, Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Leicester, and Southampton in their next seven after that. I can happily play Saiz in all of those games, and I'll be happy to do so in my four at the back system from next week. So happy to have him in this week, and some great fixtures for Saiz and Wolves going forward. So if we move on to the midfield now, so we've got Salah starting away at Chelsea. Not much more to say there. He was in my team last week, did great, but the captaincy armband has moved off of him this week just because his away form isn't as good, and I think there's better options in my team for captaincy this weekend. Aubameyang next to him is my captain this week. He did well last week, and West Ham looked really poor. So I expect a return from Aubameyang at home to West Ham in game week 2. Just want something from him just to keep the captaincy ticking along. Next to him, we have St. Maximin. Didn't look amazing, wasn't thrilled with him last week, but keeping him in for Brighton at home. He's been declared fit as well, so that's fine after his potential knock midweek. So he'll be there for this game week. And I've gone with Souček in the midfield as a 3-4-3. We know what he can do in the air from set pieces. Arsenal are not great defending set pieces, so that's why he's in there over potentially picking Charlie Taylor in defence as a 4-3-3 option. I've gone with Souček away at Arsenal. Reed on the bench leads away. Again, he's there if I need the 2 points from him. He should play every week, but I'm not going to be starting him even against another newly promoted team unless I have to. So I definitely prefer Souček to him. So Reed will just sit on my bench again this week. The front three that I've got and I'm really happy with. It's Calvert-Lewin at home to West Brom, the early kickoff. I want to start off the game week well with Calvert-Lewin, hoping I can get an attacking return from him. He looked really, really good in game week 1, Everton as well. So excited to have him in my team. Werner at Liverpool at home. Again, he was in my team last week. Spending that money, he's going to play even with a potentially difficult fixture. But being at home, Liverpool can play a high line in defence. There will be room behind for Werner. He's been declared fit to play as well. So again, he'll be starting for me. And the final pick is Martial, who's my vice captain this week. So he comes in off my bench for having been on the bench last week after having a blank week. So he comes in for Reed, who actually came off my bench last week, to finish up the 3-4-3 lineup. I like Manu. I like having him as an option, and he's always involved now playing in that sort of centre forward role for Manu. So I'm lining up with a 3-4-3: McCarthy, Trent, Stevens, Justin, Salah, Aubameyang, St. Maximin, Soucek, Calvert-Lewin, Werner, Martial, my starting team, Taylor first sub, Reed, and then Sage last on my bench. I'm planning on doing a transfer very soon this weekend, which will likely be Aubameyang to Kevin De Bruyne. This will free up 500,000 and it will give me that cover on Man City assets that I'm really wanting. So that will give me a good captaincy option as well in Kevin De Bruyne, whilst freeing up 500,000, which would be nice to have in the bank, as well as if I want to reinvest it. So that is my plan next week for my transfer. Will be Aubameyang to Kevin De Bruyne. But that's how I'm setting up. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Any last minute transfer decisions I will reply to in the comments, or if you want to send them to me over on Twitter as well, please do so. But that is all I've got time for. If you haven't already, the league code is in the description down below. There are monthly prizes for you all. So it's just going across the bottom at the moment. T1XM16. So make sure you're joining that ahead of the deadline. But thanks, guys. Good luck in your game weeks, and we'll be back again for the next week ahead of game week 3, a game week 2 review, a game week 2 and 3 Q&A, with an exciting new guest, and then a game week 3 preview next week. But thanks all, and good luck in your game weeks.